This is a Kirkendall Barrett presentation, darling.
Feed me, meow, meow, meow.
Because of this podcast, I'm a gay icon.
I'm so hot. I'm so good looking. My salad dressing is amazing.
Like the internet at large, there are things you can do on the internet besides porn, but most of it's porn.
A lifetime of Hallmark.
Well, hello, everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. It is time for another episode of A Lifetime of Hallmark, where we talk about your favorite movies on both Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel and try to make sense of them. I am Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett.
And hello, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett, and hello, Jason Bowers.
So we're back. I had a little difficulty getting online earlier because when you guys called in to set up the phone call, I this thing on Facebook started going, and it was husbands who hate their actress wives because they've had too much plastic surgery. So I had to shut that off. So that's why I had to leave and come back.
Your algorithm is very, very specifically different than mine.
What a very valid excuse, though. It's
yeah.
I thought it was going to be some lame excuse, but now that I've heard that,
well, no, because then the next excuse was like the next excuse was you guys have to take the lead today because my husband threw away my notes because I left the house and he cleaned the house, and so I came back and my notes were gone.
Les is a victim because his husband threw out trash.
Well, this movie is trash.
It is.
There's value.
I thought the title, because it's the sins of my husband, and so I thought that it was just going to be like, a lifetime, this guy just shagging and making out and killing women, but no, it's not what it was about.
Well, there was a lot of killing of women. It just happened before the movie started.
Yeah.
The movie was I don't think it figured out, even by the end of the movie, who was the actual villain here.
I didn't either.
Right.
There's the one villain of the husband who it's, very obvious is a bad person, like right out of the gate. But then there's the wife who is then also,
it's
People
weird.
are mean to this wife.
The town villainized, everyone in this town, Kurt, I think we can all agree, was a massive dick.
You dick!
Oh, everybody in this town.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
The entire town.
I thought the movie could have been 15 minutes, like 15 minutes into the movie. It's like they got in all the beats. I thought that was going to be it. It was going to be a short film.
Well, I think they turned or tried to turn the genre on its ear by having this character who was kind of a victim be a sympathetic ear, but even that, it made no sense.
Even they turned out to be a dick.
Yeah.
You dick!
Well, I have all my notes, and I did see this movie a couple of days ago, but I do recall that I didn't really understand. I think there was something about the ending I didn't really understand. I didn't get it.
Why it didn't come sooner. I think that's what you didn't understand.
What's that?
Why it didn't come sooner.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's like some people, when they watch 2001: A Space Odyssey, they don't understand it. I understand that, but I don't understand Sins of My Husband.
Well, I hadn't seen Space Odysseys 1 through 2000, so that was my confusion.
Stop. I almost did a spit take on that.
Really?
I did. I actually
For my
laughed at
dad
that.
joke?
I enjoyed that. That snuck up on me. I'm gonna spit out some Coca-Cola brand Coke.
And you know what?
Keeping me awake.
My birthday is tomorrow. Kurt's birthday was last week. My birthday is this week. It's tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Well, we're recording this on Friday, April 25th. I think this is going to post on Monday, though.
Oh, okay.
So I have a day planned. So some friends are taking me out to dim sum.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go get some birthday Botox to celebrate.
Okay.
And then I'm going out for sushi tomorrow night.
Where are they injecting the Botox?
In West Hollywood.
No, I mean where on you?
In my forehead.
Okay.
Oh, okay. How long does that take?
Forehead. 5 minutes. 10 probably.
Have you ever done it before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's been a long time. I haven't had injectables since before COVID.
Oh wow, that's a real long time.
Yes. So I'm officially gonna be a man of a certain age. So I'm embracing injectables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
I'm not gonna get frozen though.
Okay. No.
You mean like cryogenic or like an ice bath?
It means like the movie.
Like a frozen face. Like how they're like pump them up.
Oh, yes.
And they just pump them up and like you can't like
I don't
blink.
think anyone goes into it saying I'm gonna have a frozen face that doesn't move. It just sort of happens. It's sort of like Greg Brady in that episode of the Brady Bunch with the hair dye. Like, wasn't intending for it to be as bright orange as it was.
Well, see, so I think men should you should have a few, as a man, you should have a few lines in your face. Because you don't want I would never be Casper the Friendly Ghost Face, but you don't want like Casper the Friendly Ghost Face.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever do it. And I'm pretty vain, but for me personally, I don't like the idea of one day there's creases and the next day it's smoothed out.
Yeah.
And then it's going to go in and out of that, and you're going to for me, I think I'll just look really alert if I do it.
That's the thing. It looks really obvious on some people, and it's like some people. It's like it'd be better if you aged.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a noticeable line.
Yeah.
And it shows up in my headshots, so that's part of the reason why I'm doing it.
For me, like I have the line. I'm okay with it, but I am also not really acting anymore. But also, I have the luxury of having Asian blood, so I look younger than my age anyway. My hair. Like, I have salt and pepper. You can't even really tell. Like,
Well, and I look pretty good for my age. I mean, I'm 59.
Wow.
I guess if we're gonna bit things, I did upgrade my hair a little bit.
Oh, what'd you do?
What'd you do?
Just darkened it a little bit.
Okay.
Oh. Well, it's.
But it looks like when I do it the problem with dyeing your hair is that when people have dyed hair, sometimes it just looks so obvious. It's clearly you're dyeing your hair.
Well, honestly, yours blends in very naturally, and me saying I wouldn't do that to myself, that's my own personal choice. Everyone, like, you do you, not a judgment at all. Just for me, that kind of stuff is not stuff that I would do. I do other ridiculous things to my body and to the way I dress to feel younger that more than overcompensates in the other direction.
Well, my whole thing too is I'm going to go in, and I've already talked to them, and I'm like, listen, I'm an actor and my face needs to move. So I don't want,
yes.
Like, I want to go conservative with it.
Yeah, well, what I did with the hair is like, you're supposed to, so I did it myself, but you're supposed to have it in there for 5 minutes. So I do it for less. So Perfect. I do it for, so it's more subtle.
Does it wash out then quickly if you do that, or is it stays in?
What do you mean, the color?
Yeah.
No, the color stays.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, because I know some, like, if you get your hair done, you're not supposed to wash it for a few days so the color can set properly.
Well, this is you squish it all into your hair, and then you have it sit there for like a few minutes, and then you wash it out, and you're all set.
Yeah.
We should do a tutorial.
Jason, are you going to the Leather Festival?
I'm able to get it.
Am I going to what?
Are you going to the Off Sunset Leather Festival on Sunday?
No.
Leather Festival.
Not really my scene.
Gotta be into something.
I'm going.
Unless, like, I've got like a group of friends going or something, but like,
I was
I'm going.
I mentioned you guys because I am watching the White Lotus. I'm like on maybe episode 6, and I was and I talked about the big monologue that Sam Rockwell gives about the lady boys.
Yeah.
There's a hat you can buy that has his entire monologue on it.
The whole thing?
Yeah, like a baseball cap.
Oh, I would totally wear that.
Is it like micro? Like, that was a long monologue.
That's funny.
You'd be surprised. Well, it's written like on the front, and then it goes, and the rest of it's on the visor. So it's all
that's
there.
a lot of words. Like a lot of words.
That show gets dark.
Oh, here it is. Oh, it's $45.
Yeah. You gonna get it?
The hat?
Yeah. That's.
Did you get it on Amazon?
It's
or where?
on goodshirts.com. They've also got it on a t-shirt for $25, but I like the idea of it being on a hat because it's up on the front and then it's on the brim as well. And so from a ways away, it just looks like tiny little dots on like white dots on a black hat.
What I love about that monologue is that whole thing was written like last minute.
Was it really?
Yeah, because he was just so Leslie Bibb, one of the three friends, is his real life partner, and he literally just went to Thailand just to hang out with her,
right?
And so,
but that character was in the script.
Oh, really?
Because Woody Harrelson was supposed to play it.
Oh, wait, and then Mike White said, see you later, I got Sam Rockwell.
No, it's my understanding Woody was cast in it, and because like production of things kept getting delayed, Woody had a hard out because he had this like birthday, like destination birthday party coming up that like all these people were going to be flying in from all over the world to go to, and so it was getting to a point where he's like, I can't do this show now because the dates changed. So he dropped out.
Right.
Well,
I like Woody.
I do too.
I said I'm gonna give that speech at my class reunion. Anybody ask me what I've been up to? I'm just gonna say, well, I live in Bangkok now.
Aren't you part MC of this reunion? Didn't you get roped into that somehow?
I'm like a relief MC.
Yeah, like I feel like you'll get relieved real soon if you just go up there and just start the speech.
That's what I should do.
Yeah,
right.
Hey, everybody, I just want to tell you what I've been up to. And then I had this lady boy, but usually and I'm.
I would love for you to do that, only to see just how long it takes for anybody to clock what it is you're talking about.
It'd be awesome if nobody saw the show and nobody knows. Everybody thinks I'm telling the truth.
Right. So how many? So you're 6 episodes in.
I'm like I got into 6, but I haven't seen all 6 yet. They've just like woken up from the.
No, it's good.
The craziness.
It's good.
Oh, that's good.
It was like once you get to episode 5, it's like, oh my god, there's like this. The depravity. Is that the right word? Depravity?
Yep.
The depravity, the
That's
depravity.
Subjective.
I'm
not saying I'm into that. I'm just saying that calling it depraved is subjective.
That's
lots that happens in that episode.
Yes. There's a lot of hard partying going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because it's back and forth, this and like,
yeah.
And sometimes when I watch those big party scenes, because having worked on a lot of shoots, I'm like, oh, what a pain in the ass. Unless they really had their shit together in production, those things take forever to shoot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
And I know there's HBO shows. They have enough money to kind of take their time on that stuff. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they had a Thailand crew that was. Moved pretty quickly. Which one is Leslie Bibb? She's the one who's the actress?
She's the one from Austin that's become a little more conservative and is like going to church now. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know who Carrie Coon is because she was in Ghostbusters. She was.
Did she win an Emmy for something for like Fargo or something? Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, do you want to know what's going on?
Who should have an Emmy? Kurt, do you have any Blac Chyna news?
Doing a piece of China.
China.
I'm talking China.
The Blac Chyna Report. Here's Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Okay, this is from hot97.com.
Oh.
This is just from a couple of days ago, April 23rd. The author is Bryson Boone Paul.
Yeah.
All right. Blac Chyna has lived many lives in the public eye. Stripper, model, businesswoman, reality TV star, and now mother with a renewed sense of purpose. Her latest chapter isn't marked by a headline or red carpet appearance, but by a raw human moment with her 13-year-old son, King Cairo, who she shares with rapper Tyga. In a recent interview on Cited with Ra Ali, Chyna revealed she told King about her past as a stripper. The conversation happened while they were watching Love and Hip Hop Miami together. Ordinary TV sparking an extraordinary moment of honesty. It wasn't a publicity stunt or a confessional meant for public approval. It was a private truth shared between a mother and a son, navigating the complexities of growing up, him into adolescence, her into a more grounded, transparent version of herself. Chyna chose honesty over omission. King's reaction was one of surprise, but the moment deepened their bond. She didn't justify her past, she claimed it, and in doing so turned it into a tool for connection. Chyna's rise from Miami's King of Diamonds to national fame wasn't an accident. Her presence, striking, magnetic, led to early appearances in major hip-hop videos and mentions in songs by Drake and Kanye West. But the work that set the foundation for her fame wasn't glamorous. It was demanding, often judged, and seldom understood. She embraced it anyway, using that momentum to build a beauty brand and launch her own salon. Her story reflects the grind behind the glow and the ambition behind the allure. Today, her parenting reflects the same clarity. Raising King and his younger sister Dream, her daughter with Rob Kardashian under intense public scrutiny, hasn't been simple. Still, Chyna is focused on emotional truth over image. That choice, especially in a celebrity culture driven by image control, is rare. Her decision to tell King the full story is less about her past and more about how she moves forward. It's about trust, respect, and letting her children see the full person behind the persona. Oh, wait, there's a whole other thing. I think we're going to end it there.
Oh, my God. This is like a testimonial.
First of all,
I think that's probably enough. It keeps going. Her openness offers something useful to other parents, a way to talk about its parenting, its both human form. I think we're good, though.
I want to know what the news was, though.
Well, the news was she told her son that she used to be a stripper.
Right, but this didn't sound like it was a news story. It sounded like an intro to, you know, like on when you watch like a news magazine show like Dateline or like 60 Minutes, and right before like they do the sit down interview, they do like the voiceover where they show the B-roll of like the interviewer and the interviewee like walking the grass. It's like this is like laying the foundation for the Blac Chyna interview.
Right. Well, I think the news is that she told her son that she used to be a stripper, and then they kind of had to milk that and, you know, just talk about why that's meaningful, why she's redefining. You know what she's doing? She's finding meaning in her past experience.
I sort of question the genuine nature with which this story was delivered, because they're going on and on and on about how this is a tender moment between a mother and her son, and she didn't tell him because of any news story, but there's a story talking about how this isn't a news story, which therefore makes it a news story. Well, it happened when they were watching Love and Hip Hop Miami together. But how do we know that? We only know that because Blac Chyna told somebody that happened. Well, how else are we going to know? And this is what spurred the conversation between them, where she said, "Yes, I used to work as a stripper." Well, wonder if he was surprised.
His dad probably said something.
I was surprised to learn that he is 13.
Wow, he's growing up, King Cairo.
Yeah,
he's growing up before.
I remember when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a book that I got at a yard sale, and this book is going to disgust Jason. Kurt, you might get a kick out of it. Right. Jason will be disgusted.
I'm ready.
The book is called Going Vegan, and you know who wrote it? Linda Blair.
I would have bought that too.
Hell?
That looks like it's self-published.
That's why I bought it, because I was like, Linda Blair.
Open that up. Does that have a publisher? Does that have a publisher? That looks like she published it. Looks like that came out of Staples.
All rights reserved. Published by Sonny Harris and Associates.
It's like the font is, it's not papyrus, but it's like a papyrus adjacent font, very large. And then it's the picture on the cover of the book is Linda in a crop top and a pair of jeans, like laying on her side, sort of Brooke Shields, Calvin Klein style, talking about going vegan! Exclamation point.
But it looks like a picture that her friend took where she thinks she looks hot in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a real professional picture.
Now, I think it is a self-published because it says thealternate.com's easy guide to alternative healthy foods. Now, let me read the back.
Oh.
Okay. Lower your risk of mad cow disease, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and other illnesses.
Wasn't she possessed by the devil? Isn't that little scary?
Let me read you this review. If The Exorcist scared you, think about this. Your fear was nothing compared to the fear experienced by an animal who's being dragged through a slaughterhouse to face the executioner.
Oh, yeah.
And you know who said that?
David Hasselhoff.
Linda Blair.
Wow.
Was she gave her own quote?
Yes.
Well, she's really doing herself.
Linda Blair says, read this book.
I think she...
I
think she was gluing the book together.
Yeah.
I mean, good for her for staying busy,
but not glue made of a horse.
No.
Oh, there's a picture of her with Mary Tyler Moore.
Wait, let me see that photo.
David Hasselhoff.
Hold that photo to the camera. Let's describe it.
And somebody else is in the picture too.
Yeah, who's the other person?
Yeah.
Is that Mary Lou Retton?
This book clearly came out in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Marie Le Pen. Okay. Oh, there's a picture with her and Tippi Hedren.
Okay. What year? But you said Marine Le Pen? Wasn't she the...
Who's that?
Isn't Marine Le Pen
Marie Le Pen.
Wasn't she running for office in France?
Where is she?
Oh. Tippi Hedren was in The Birds.
Yep.
Okay. Now let's see who else.
And her daughter is Melanie Griffith.
Oh, Linda and Kevin Nealon.
Oh,
okay.
Well, I like Kevin Nealon, so I'm not going to make fun of that.
This money is this was like $1 well spent.
It sure is. This must have been hard to find.
It was in the yard sale. I was just like sitting there, and I was like, "What?"
I totally would have gotten that too. In fact, I want it. Can I buy that from you?
Well, no, because. I think. Let me see here.
I love her to sign it. Less
autographed by Linda Blair.
Like actual autograph, or is that like one of those like it's Xeroxed?
No, real? It's the actual autograph.
Like she actually signed that copy.
Yes.
Wow.
So
I bought Martin Short's book at somebody's house, somebody's yard sale, and it was autographed.
But I think it's one of these where you know how she probably had a bunch of books and just like
sign
them. What, like when you were paging through that and you discovered the autograph, did your head spin?
And I puked out some pea soup.
It was interesting to hear about Mad Cow. You never hear about Mad Cow anymore.
Well, because of the messages she's been putting out.
Well, yeah, maybe.
It was published. This book was published in 2001.
Yeah, I was right. I said late 90s, early 2000s. You could tell from the fashions.
Man, that Exorcist movie still freaks me out to this day. Like she's talking to Captain Howdy, and it's like the devil.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
No. Oh, you're raised Catholic. That's one thing. That's one advantage of being raised Catholic. You're scared to death of The Exorcist.
I was
I
was technically raised Catholic, but not very strictly so. And like my parents didn't go to church; they sent us off with our aunt. So
no, because I learned that was real.
Sure.
That the Exorcist was real. Mm-hmm. That there's a priest in the diocese who is an exorcist. And I'm watching this movie. I'm scared to death.
Oh.
And did you learn that if a priest touches your naughty parts, that you're not supposed to tell anyone?
Yeah, that was supposed to be acceptable.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Did you ever watch like Annabelle, like those movies?
Yeah.
I don't care for them.
Didn't you know I have Annabelle?
In your house?
Yeah, I do.
Actual doll?
I do. Yeah, I'll get it right now. Let me see.
Wow.
Yeah, here's Annabelle.
Oh, the Funko.
Well, that's not Annabelle.
Funko Annabelle.
That's Annabelle. And if she's let out of the Funko box, then she comes alive and she's evil. So I've never let her out.
You know, when I'm ready to dance, I'm letting that out of the Funko box. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my other Funko. This is
that?
Steve from Stranger Things.
Okay. Does it have the hair?
Okay.
Oh.
It's a smaller one. Annabelle. Okay. I'm ready to start.
Should we get into Lifetime's Sins of My Husband?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's get this over with.
So I thought the movie was dumb and bad, but I kind of liked it, I think. I didn't hate it.
This was the Park Ranger PhD program.
Yeah. They're trying to use up all that grant money before it goes away because wow.
Now, if you're new, first of all, welcome.
Hi.
But the Park Ranger was from a movie that we watched, and we mention her when the acting is bad.
Yeah,
her acting.
Do we have her scene?
Yeah, we do.
That's not possible. This trail's been closed for 8 years. It's extremely dangerous.
That was from a Lifetime movie called Killer Vacation.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I found that woman on Facebook, but I'm afraid to ask her to come on after all we've said about her.
I mean, we talk
And she
about
works
her. We talk about her with love.
Yeah, we like her.
Yeah, we like her.
Okay. Boy, I'll tell you.
I will say, like, as much as we make fun of that line, it's not necessarily the actor's fault if there is a wooden line delivery, especially on one of these kinds of movies, because the shooting schedule is so compressed that you don't know what kind of performance you're giving, and you don't often get another chance to do a second take.
Well, in that vein, she was probably thinking, oh, well, no big deal. People won't remember this. We were doing this for years.
Right. Because our friend Meredith Thomas tells us that sometimes they only have like 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick.
So, yeah, I get it. Anyway, the sins of the father.
Oh, well, all right. I got you.
Of my husband. It's Sins of My Husband.
Of my husband.
Yeah, my husband.
Sins of the Father, I think, is like some religious movie.
Yeah. All right, you want me to start?
It was religious.
Yeah.
I got some good notes here. All right, so it's dark outside. It's weedy. There's a lot of weeds.
Yeah.
The people are home alone in the woods. So I said, a man is saying grace at the table. It was a prayer I never heard before, but he was saying grace.
And it was two people there was a couple, but it was a very long table, and they were at far ends of this long dining room table.
Yeah, I've heard like most grace prayers. I guess maybe they have a copyright on prayers, so they had to make up a new one.
I think those are public domain by now.
Maybe. Let's see. He did know. So he's like a real estate agent. Yeah. And his wife asks. His wife's sitting at the other end of the table, much like Vicky Vale and Bruce Wayne did when they're sitting at that long table. And he says he did no sales, but he might sell a house tomorrow. Yeah. A fickle business. Then he gets a text, and he finds out that a security alarm had gone off in the house, in some other house that he was selling.
And now the house was like extra dark.
Their house or the one
Their house. No, their house. So
I guess kind of, yeah. That was probably a directorial choice of like, let's make this seem as ominous as possible right from the get-go.
Okay.
Yeah. So his wife said she might have to eat all the food. I wrote that. Next, he's driving on a dirt road, and he goes into a wooden hut. But it has it has a basement. Has a very well constructed basement in this kind of like shoddy wood hut. Yeah. And there's a young girl is locked up down there. And she has to crank something for air. I've never seen anything like that.
It was like fucking Kimmy Schmidt. Yeah. Do you remember that on Kimmy Schmidt, how they had the crank in their bunker?
You did? Yes, that's right. Yeah, and and John Hamm would make them crank it.
And it did nothing on the show. That was part of the joke, is that they were so dumb that they didn't know any better.
Well, she has to crank. She has to crank this air. So what does she do? So she says something about she intensified his supper. Oh, she interrupted his supper.
Oh, because she was like making noise trying to break out.
Yeah. So then he says that the ladies of the lake await. And he leaves her locked in there. And I think he turned off her air. So she's going to get it now.
Because I guess even with the airflow open and her cranking, it's supposed to deliver air in there. But when he shuts it off, she's got no way to get air in.
Right. I should say his name is Tony. And the little girl's name is Susie.
I want to know, what when you're hiring contractors, like, it's weird enough and creepy enough if you're like, I'd like a soundproof room. But if you're like, I'd like a soundproof room that is literally airtight. I want no actual air to be able to get in and out of this room.
And now, you do me a favor, I'm going to scream. You stand on the side, see if you could hear me.
Yeah.
Now, Tony reminded me of like a gay Bela Legosi.
Yes. Bela Legosi, am I right?
The children of the night.
Pull the strings. His voice went like this. Like, you interrupted my supper.
He had like a baseline creepy vibe about him.
Pull the strings.
And then, because did you mention the part about the air? So then the idiot girl starts screaming, and I'm like, idiot, you're going to use up all your air, dummy. Stop screaming.
Why can't she crank it anymore? Did he lock the crank?
He either took the crank away or he did something to shut off the air where like cranking it won't help.
Yes. Her crank is gone.
And trust me, I try cranking it all the time, but sometimes it does not help.
Well, no, that's a risky thing. Just cranking.
Admittedly, sometimes it does help.
Well, it's escapism. If you're cranking it as an escape, then that could be a problem. Right.
No, it escapes.
Dirty. This is like the White Lotus. Okay. So he drives away. Now people are looking for Susie, but they can't find her. I think they're walking through the woods. Susie! Well, what's the point of that? She's underground. So a woman puts up a sign for Susie. It says that Susie is missing. There
is a detail I wrote down that is very funny to me that I didn't bring up. She's in this airtight bunker. Like he builds a bunker that's got nothing but like a cot for her to sleep on. In this bunker is a trash can.
Yeah. Well.
He left her a trash can to throw away. I don't know what. She's got nothing there. She's got no belongings.
Cleanliness is next to godliness. He is a religious man.
Well, I think he feeds her because we later find out that she gets dessert sometimes.
Yeah.
So
You would love it down there.
You would love it in the airtight bunker because of the dessert.
You mean there's dessert? I'm in.
Yes.
I'm going to lock you in the bunker and you get dessert. Ooh. What kind?
Lead with the headline.
Excuse me, I coughed. So then there's three ladies, including Susie's mom, and they're around. They're outside, and they're putting up the missing sign. And we find out that there's been 6 missing girls in 6 months.
Yeah,
An average of 1 a month.
Yeah.
Catherine, that's Tony's wife, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but she doesn't know what's going on yet. She doesn't know. And so they're all meeting each other. We're meeting a blonde woman named Brenda, and they all meet. Now Tony is showing a house, and we don't get to see the inside of the house. I don't think they were able to shoot in the house, so just outside.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they snuck in. They drove up and just shot at these people's homes.
Yeah.
We also found out that Catherine, the wife of Tony, is incapable of conceiving.
Oh, yes.
Which you think will be a plot point that is used later. It is not. Never addressed again.
So, excuse me. So there's a teenage girl here. So Tony's showing the home to this mother and teenage girl named Heather. Heather, they say, Heather, what do you think of the house? She said, I think it looks like a house. And so, and they asked Tony if he has kids. He says, not exactly. He says, I babysit. Kind of true.
Yeah.
Kind of true.
Can't fault him for that answer.
I mean, he's got a place for them to sleep. He feeds them, gives them something to do, cranking that crank.
Yeah.
Right.
You got a garbage can.
Yeah.
The mother says, if you want her, if you want Heather, you can have her.
And his eyes kind of went.
He's like,
oh,
there I got sounds like consent. And he lets them back in the house, show them the excellent basement space that it has.
Oh, look at that trash can, honey. Does that come with the house?
Yes, and desserts.
Oh, desserts.
Now, the police, boy, they outdid themselves with the police. For the longest time, I thought there was only one cop in the entire town. But finally, we do see there's some other people working. But I think there's only one full time.
We always talk on this podcast about how unhelpful the law enforcement is in these Lifetime movies. This, I mean, chef's kiss. You've outdone yourselves a Lifetime with how unbelievably unhelpful the police force in this town was.
This is Detective
they could
Harrison.
care less.
Yeah.
Detective
lady
Harrison he actually makes it worse.
Yeah.
So Detective Harrison, he's interrogating Susie's parents. So these are the parents. Their girl is missing. So he's in their home interrogating them. But he thinks Susie let someone in. Did she order pizza? The mom says she's still alive. All right. But, he's making them uncomfortable. Now they go outside. They think, these parents, Susie's parents, think they see Susie, but it's not Susie. It's Heather, the girl from before.
Yeah.
Right.
So
they frighten her.
Who looks nothing like Susie, by the way.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all like her.
Nothing at all. But they see the for sale sign. They see Tony's face on it, and they put two and two together, and they say he's the one doing the abductions. And then Heather, little girl Heather, says the line of dialogue of the year. Tony didn't say anything about abductions. Now I'm not making that up. That was actually said in this movie.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think if you're going to advertise your home on Zillow as having an airtight underground bunker with a trash can, it is weird if you don't also point out the abduction rate of your realtor in that same ad.
Yeah, you got to mention that. Have it in your Zillow review, at least. How do you rate in terms of abductions?
And Tony, by the way, is still like lurking around, just looking creepy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he does. Okay, so now the parents go home. They have figured it out. They're going to call Detective Harrison.
Wait, Kurt, you've got some experience with real estate. Is there anything like an abduction disclosure form?
Yeah, I think if somebody, if I know if somebody was like murdered in the house, or someone's planning to murder someone in the house, you have to disclose that. I don't know if an agent. If a realtor has to reveal that they have children abducted,
right? Yeah, because I was going to say, do you have to disclose a bunker?
I mean, I think you would want to because it's an extra room.
Yeah,
that's a selling point.
I'd make it into like a game room.
You do have a dungeon.
Yeah, dungeon.
Like a game room, like a party room.
Mm-hmm. Panic room.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Wine cellar. Room. There's all kinds of things you could call it to make it more appealing.
Yes. Or a spare bedroom, or I'd like Airbnb it.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep in the dungeon.
Yeah,
that'd be all right. Okay, so
bears, I would love that.
Bears?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. You mean like a bear in the woods, or like a bear?
Like a man bear.
No. They like basements? Okay.
Dungeons, yeah.
Really? I know any of this. Okay. Okay, so now they're home. They figured it out. So now it's dinner again with Tony and the wife. Now he needs to leave dinner because he needs to clean a house. But his wife made him dessert.
Well, she wants
She's
to
like
bake
a housewife.
she wants to bake pies for a living. Kurt, how do you feel about that?
Kurt, would you have stopped and like had the dessert first?
Yeah. Well, she brings out a chocolate pie and she says she wants to sell pies, but he doesn't want her to. He says, "End of conversation, Catherine. You have enough to do around here." I like the idea of selling pies. She wants to sell pies at like a flea market, like a farmer's market.
I do wonder, though, maybe Tony, he's so resistant. Maybe he just saw Hidden Figures and he's a little worried about the chocolate pie. Like,
on
Octavia Spencer.
Yes.
Oh. What does she do?
No, not Hidden Figures, The Help. The Help, sorry.
It was The
Help.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hidden Figures.
I literally just saw a clip from Hidden Figures the other day and it was on my mind.
I was like, what did they do? Bring the shit pie to?
Well, no, it was literally the Taraji P. Henson bathroom monologue. So I was thinking bathroom. Yeah. I was thinking movie that Octavia Spencer is in.
What did she do to the pie? I don't remember. She took a poop in the pie?
She made a shit pie.
Oh, and someone ate it?
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Was it sweet?
She finished it.
I mean, if you add sugar to it, anything's sweet.
Ah.
Right.
That movie was wild.
Right.
Okay, so he leaves the house, and now he's back in the basement. Susie is on the floor. Oh, she died. Not fooling me. She gets up, and she whacks him. Whacks him in the head.
And I was like, good.
Yeah, no, with the crank.
Him again.
She hit him with the crank.
Oh, well, how'd she get the crank? Oh, because he walked in with he had the crank.
Because he was going to be down there. He needed to bring some air in.
She hits him once. She should have hit him again. Make sure he is knocked out. She hits him once, so she runs, and then he's in hot pursuit. And then she's just running outside screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this was the part that I was like, did I start the movie in the middle? And so I paused it to look to see if I started it. Because it just seemed out of order.
Because it's like, wait, the villain in this movie is about to die already? How far along are we? Kind of thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought this is how it just could have been a short film. Isn't that nice? They could have sent it off to the Academy Awards to be nominated for the best short film. So it turns out when they go outside, the cops are there. They have some other cops working that night, and the police catch him, and he starts saying, "I will walk through the valley of the." He starts singing that Coolio song, the Gangster's Paradise.
Is that what it was?
He goes, "I will walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Realize there's nothing left."
I wonder if that's an actual piece of literature that Eminem was quoting.
No, this is Coolio.
Oh, Coolio, rather.
Yeah, I think it's something religious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, let's look it up. I'm looking
it up. Yeah, Walk Through the Valley of Shadow of Death. It comes up right now.
Well, while you're looking it up, guess
it's
what?
a song.
Google. Google. Google.
Okay, it's Psalm 23, 1-6. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me into the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. That's what it is. Okay. But I think they got it from the Coolio song. The police arrive at the house. Now, Susie's in the police station. Her parents arrive. The mom sees that Catherine has been brought in.
Yes.
Now Catherine is being interrogated. Did she
know?
Sorry
for her.
Did she know about the kidnapped girls and the bunker? She says no.
I felt sorry for her because you don't always know what your spouse is doing.
Right.
This is Detective Harrison is up to this. Detective Harrison he does everything around the office.
Except solve crime.
No, he doesn't do that.
No.
But he looks busy.
Right. Oh, man, he spends a lot of time gaslighting people.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
He's got pictures of him, and she says, I don't know. All right, so now the parents with Susie. The cop videotapes Susie. He's also in charge of the AV department at the police station.
Yeah.
And so she had returned. She explained she returned from school, and Tony. Oh, this is what happened. It's like a flashback. She comes home from school. She's alone. She's what they used to call a latchkey child, or Generation X.
I feel like she's high school age though, so I mean, not super unusual that she's coming home alone.
Right, okay.
She would have, because if she was a Generation X kid, she'd be at home watching Lost in Space or The Brady Bunch or the After School Special on Channel 7.
Dun, 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 dun. She'd watch the one where the girl in high school, her mother's an alcoholic, and when she goes up on the stage to get her her award, diploma, whatever, her mother gets on stage drunk. I'm so proud of my daughter. Okay, so Tony, this in the flashback, she hears somebody in the house, and it's Tony, and he puts her out with chloroform.
I was like, chloroform is back.
Yeah, I was happy to see it, and it was like it was a lot of it.
Yeah, it was a huge rag.
Yeah, well, he sold a house the week before, so he could afford it. Now she wakes up in the bunker, and she says she never heard anyone else. And if she gave him any lip, he would turn off the air. But I think this is where, she learned breathing exercises in yoga.
See, yoga's good for you.
So that's good. Did she also do the sound bath? Did she clang
she
on
probably did.
Mm-hmm.
She probably did.
She clanged on the crank, and it gave her a sound bath.
Yes.
So now Catherine is in jail. Why? But she's released. And so her home was searched. But what I liked about it was when she's released from jail, you see on the wall, it says state police, but it doesn't say what state it is.
They're in Oregon. I saw license plate earlier.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. So her house was searched. Nobody picked up anything. They just knocked everything over. And
it was one of these, anytime I've seen that in movies, I've genuinely wondered, if your house is searched under a legal search warrant, do they really just ransack it and leave it? Or do they,
apparently.
Look, somewhat respectfully, maybe it's not put back perfectly, but put back kind of in the same condition? Because this looks like she was robbed.
I think the refrigerator was left open. Yeah, it was. I would eat some of the food if I had a search warrant on someone's house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a gray area ethically or not.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I guess.
I'm sure it's not even a gray area. I'm sure it's a black and white area.
Well, and
I shouldn't be doing that.
No.
Okay.
And if they search your house, they kick your door in and stuff, right?
Okay.
They kick your door in if they need to, but they brought her in for questioning, so they probably have her keys.
Okay, this is this is a serious question now.
Okay.
I'm a police officer.
Okay.
There's a search warrant. So I have a warrant. I'm going to this house, and I got to search the house. On the counter is a Pop-Tart. Now it's a Pop-Tart. This is a bare Pop-Tart, bareback, out of the package.
Bareback Pop-Tart.
There's just one Pop-Tart on the counter, not even on a plate, and I eat the Pop-Tart.
Right. Okay. Well, first,
did I do something wrong?
First of all, bareback Pop-Tart was my nickname in high school. Second of all, is it one of those glazed ones, or is it the one that's totally dry on the outside?
It is a white icing Pop-Tart. We're talking the brand Pop-Tart too. This is not a knockoff, and it's
like blueberry
filled. No, go with cherry.
I don't like cherry.
I legitimately think that would be unethical and wrong to do because you don't know all of the facts of the case, and the fact that there's a single Pop-Tart, not even like 2 Pop-Tarts in a package, but just anything on the counter in that way could be a clue of some sort.
It's a crime
not
scene.
even Elsbeth would eat that Pop-Tart.
I would be interrupting a crime scene.
You absolutely would, yeah.
So, like, if you were Elsbeth, you would take the Pop-Tart and you'd put it in a plastic bag.
Yeah. Like, what if the criminal had eaten a Pop-Tart and the time that it took them to eat it meant that was much less time to get to somewhere else they were supposed to be, so they were capable of doing the crime or something like that.
Okay.
It's a detail that may be relevant when it doesn't seem like so on the surface.
Okay.
So was it worth it to eat it, Kurt?
Well, I was just trying to figure out the ethics. We're looking at it in terms of like the I guess the logistics. The logistics of it's wrong. Is it morally wrong also that I'm it kind of is like I am eating these people's
like
food.
The morality of it ranks pretty low, but I do think in terms of like being able to do their job or your job as a detective or whoever's job it is, it's if you're eating it, that could actually affect the crime scene. You may not know it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is why you have to pattern yourself after. Let's see.
Are you watching another one of those?
Elsbeth.
It's Elsbeth.
Elsbeth. They're airing that earlier now for some reason. Anyway.
Do you just like turn on the Elsbeth theme throughout the day to like goose you up and get you going?
I like her.
If they ever cancel.
Yeah, Elsbeth was on early last night.
Yeah.
Because they're gearing up for the 2-hour finale.
Oof. Well, if they ever cancel that show, you'll go storm CBS.
Oh, I will. That show is in no danger of being canceled. That and Matlock are just fun.
They canceled Papa's House.
They did.
Yeah, I saw that.
And The Summit, which I used to bring up on this show, and I could never remember the name of it. That's the one where they're climbing to the top of the mountain. Okay. So anyway, so yes, Catherine's home is trashed. And what happens? So she tries to call in groceries, but the grocery store won't bring any food because of who she is.
Right. That was silly. That was so fucking dumb.
Tony, let's bring you groceries.
They were like, "Who is this? Oh, Catherine? Like murder wife Catherine? Hell no, we're not bringing your groceries.
Not bringing my loaf of bread to you."
I realize that on one hand, we live in a culture where women aren't believed in many scenarios, but I had a hard time buying that everyone in this town thought that she had to have known what her husband was doing. And there really wasn't a good portion of the people that were like, that doesn't make sense. She might not have known.
Because being someone who's married, I'm here to tell you, you don't always know what your spouse is doing.
Les keeps all kinds of secrets from John.
Oh my God,
he tells us about it all the time.
Well, your secrets aren't safe. I mean, he's cleaning up all your paperwork.
Well, he's throwing away my notes.
He's scanning it right now.
Yeah, but think of the things Les hasn't written down that he's told you and me in confidence over and over and over, Kurt.
Well, just the stuff that he's thinking.
Because, things like, it's like, where'd you go? And I'm like, oh, I went to, and I had really been shopping and buying clothes, but didn't want him to know. So I'd be like, oh, I was in Venice at the beach, or things like that.
Why didn't you just do the passive aggressive, oh, why is it any of your business? Or turn it around. Where have you been? You seem awfully suspicious asking me that, John.
But no, because all you do is you just hide your clothes in the trunk and then sneak them in when he's at work.
Wait, so what do? You buy clothes and you don't tell him, you said?
Yeah.
Why is it a secret?
Well, if he's like, you know, if we should be using that money for something else, but you know.
Is he not the type that recognizes like, oh, that shirt looks new?
Oh, he does.
But it's like long after the fact at that point. Too late.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
Speaking of clothes and John, I heard that sometimes he likes to wear the same outfit as you. So you both can go out like twins.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So I should not send you matching Sam Rockwell from White Lotus monologue hats?
That's our holiday gift this year.
No, because I know a couple who does that, and that just makes it just seems ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, back to this movie. Now we're at the funeral. Now I don't know why Catherine shows up, but thank God she does, because there's nobody at this funeral. There's like 7 people.
What's her husband?
She does.
It was like a memorial service for all of the kids that have been abducted and killed. So that's what, 5 kids?
And there's 4 people there at this thing. Yeah, there's these giant pictures. The production spent all the money on these pictures. They couldn't hire any extras, I guess. So thank God she showed up. Of course, they're not happy to see her.
No.
But great. Your husband killed all these people and you're showing up at the funeral. That's appropriate.
Yeah, on one hand, these people in the town are being ridiculous, all assuming that Catherine knew about this. But on the other hand, she's like, read the room, Catherine. These people do not want to see you.
Yeah, don't push it. Don't lean in, lean out.
But then I felt bad for her. I did feel bad for her because part of the reason why, because she was sorry. Felt bad.
You cut out there. She was what?
She's sorry?
She was sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that her husband, she was feeling guilty for what her husband did.
Well, now they go to like a restaurant. There's a little people hanging out at a restaurant after this funeral. And Catherine shows up there. She just can't stop.
I mean, she did go in to get takeout at this point. She was hungry.
Well,
she's got to eat.
Catherine arrives, and a woman walks up to her and shows her a picture of, I believe it was like her granddaughter, Melanie.
Granddaughter or niece or something like that, yeah.
And Catherine's like, I'm sorry, but but the woman takes a glass of water and splashes it in her face, and now they're even.
And I remember writing in my notes, that's when you get popped.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's when you get popped in the face.
That Catherine should have, or the grandma should have.
No, Catherine should have popped her in the face.
Yeah, I
agree.
One
for throwing.
I do. I think I got to do this once in a scene, and it was one of my favorite things is being able to throw water in someone's face. Like, it's written in the script, you get to do it. It's part of the job. Like that, as an actor, that is one of the most fun days you will ever have on a set or in a rehearsal on a stage. Is okay, you're throwing water right at this person. Hilarious.
I always heard that there's stories that Marlon Brando would write dialogue on his co-star's face, or like put
what
Post-its. He would put like Post-its on the person's face so that he could like read his lines like that. And I was in a movie years ago where they changed my role at the last minute. Like, this other guy didn't show up. Could you do this? I was like, I don't know the lines. So the other actor was going to hold up the lines in front of his face, and I couldn't do it to this guy. I couldn't do it. So he held it like lower, so it was like I was like looking down. I don't know. This movie's never been seen.
Yeah, what movie is it?
I don't even remember the name of it. It was something. When you used to do like, did you used to do this like backstage? Like I would audition for backstage, and I would get in these movies. But a lot of these movies, I don't think there was film in the camera.
Yeah, a lot of times it's like a student thesis project or something.
The student ones would usually get completed, but some of them were like, it was somebody who had like a little bit of money, and they would start making like an indie film, but they would only get like maybe half of it would be completed. I mean, some of them got finished, but not too many.
What's going on? You can mute it,
Wait.
There's another
Hold on.
All right.
actors who don't like that their wives act thing.
No, this was an ad. It was for Celebrity Big Brother UK.
Oh. Big Brother's the worst. Okay. So now Catherine's coming home and now kids are throwing eggs at the house. Well, it was Easter recently. I wrote, leave this woman alone. What's that?
That's expensive now.
Eggs. Like a lot of eggs.
Talk about privilege, throwing eggs.
Plus, don't tell Linda Blair about this.
No.
That's not very vegan.
No.
Oh, she'd be very upset, Linda Blair.
She'll tell you to get the hell out of here.
And then she'd go,
she'll pee on the floor. Leave this woman alone. So now Susie's in a room. Susie's stirring up a little trouble.
Yeah.
And her mother comes in and Susie wants to do something. She wants to get even.
Yes.
That's what she wants. She doesn't want to be in
Susie's
therapy.
very angry.
She doesn't want therapy either. No cognitive behavioral therapy for her.
No.
Or anything.
No.
So it's nothing. Susie's father he's reading in a dark room.
Yes. Now, okay, Jason,
that.
did you think this guy was cute?
Kinda, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, sorta.
Guys like that? Okay.
Yeah. Like not full on my type, but I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
He really wants to go somewhere. Oh, he wants to go away.
Yeah, he's just trying to
talking,
hey, we just had this like horrible thing. Let's just get out of town for a few days.
Where are they going?
Right.
Did they ever say where they're going?
No, I think it was just a broad like let's do something. That is
Like they should have gone to Europe.
Wow.
Like they should have gone to Paris or something.
Paris. Now, Catherine is at home having coffee, and somebody broke her window.
Yeah.
And the note says, you were not innocent. So she writes down a piece of paper. She writes down a piece of paper. Yes, I am. Puts it on the rock and throws it back out the window.
Now, here's the deal. Now, you guys saw the rock, right? Wasn't it? It was computer generated.
You mean the writing on the paper?
Yes.
It definitely was not handwritten, which we are told later it is. It was very, very clearly made in like Microsoft Word.
Exactly. Large font.
Yeah.
Well, they can track down who has this Microsoft Word. They'll find out who did it.
Yes, because only a few people have a license to that program.
That's right. Okay. Now the detective helpful Harrison shows up. What does he do? Let's see. Yes. I say, is he the only cop working in this town? I think full time.
He does like to go around and just gaslight for gaslight's sake, and he was gaslighting her about the rock.
Yeah. He says, what did he say? Yeah, you could have been hurt, but not as bad as those victims. I was like, damn, Detective Harrison.
And aren't you? Isn't he supposed to be like unbiased about the whole thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't call the police in that town. Mrs. Blake. Now, what was her name?
Doreen. It took a while. It was quite far into the movie before I learned her name.
Doreen shows up with groceries. Now, the cop, Detective Harrison, he does not like this at all. He's like, "What do you?"
No, he gives her the stink eye. He mad mugs her. He mean mugs her.
And Catherine comes to life, and she even says to Doreen, "I'll make you some eggs." She said she was able to salvage some of the eggs that were thrown at the house. I think she was serious.
Well, look, Catherine no longer has a husband making an income, and she hasn't been able to sell her pies. So if those kids are throwing eggs and some didn't break, she's like, "Well, omelet for me."
How did they break though? Did she scrape them off the windows or something?
Well, maybe they threw and maybe Susie had a weak throw or something, and it didn't actually smash.
People are throwing eggs at her house. She says, "Could you throw some bread too? Has some cereal?" And he's
Can you throw some hollandaise sauce? And they've got like the little gravy boat and a tiny little spoon, and they're just flinging it at the house.
Here, I'll slip my grocery list under the door. Maybe those were actually the grocery deliverers. Remember, she was trying to order groceries before,
right?
So it could have been. Maybe that worked out for her. Okay, so now the mom's talking. Doreen's talking to Susie, and she finds out that Susie threw the rock.
Right?
Shouldn't have Susie been in school? Yes.
Doreen's like, I knew it was you because I saw your handwriting.
Yeah. Your handwriting looks just like Comic Sans.
Yeah.
I know that's your favorite font. No. Okay, so now Catherine shows up at their house with flowers. Once again, Catherine, what is wrong with her?
Right.
Well, in this makes more sense because Doreen has shown grace towards her, so she wants to thank her for being like, hey, not only like are you another person in this town and you believe me, you're like the mom of the kid who survived this debacle.
And she had no other friends, so I'm sure that there was a loneliness component in that too.
Why didn't she have any friends? She allegedly grew up in this town.
Oh, because the husband wouldn't let her out of the house.
I get that, like, now in present day life that makes sense, but they made it seem like she's from that area.
Yeah, no, they did.
Well, I don't know. I would have waited a little while before showing up with these flowers.
Or just, like, send them. You can... people will deliver those.
They're like 1-800-Flowers.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to do something. So she shows up the flowers, but Susie shuts the door in her face.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so apparently Catherine got some muffins. That was part of the food that she got, which she said she liked.
Now, Kurt, I have a question. Now, if someone brought you a basket and you hated them, would this turn you around like the desserts, like the muffins and cupcakes?
If they did what?
If they brought
me and I didn't like it?
No, if you didn't like them, but then they brought you a basket full of treats.
I guess I would be cagey about the situation.
But then
it depends on why I had an issue with them.
But then would you eat the muffins?
Yes.
And invite them in.
I'm not sure who this is who's coming over. I don't want to give carte blanche. Okay. So they both lake. That's what I wrote down. I don't know what that meant. Oh, they both bake. They both bake. Yeah. She makes pies, the muffins and stuff.
Yeah. They like to get baked.
So now we're at Catherine's house again, and now Doreen's eating a pie. And Catherine's talking about how, her husband, Tony, didn't want her working.
Yeah.
And she never disobeyed. And Tony was religious, didn't believe in divorce.
And kind of gay.
Yeah.
Mrs. Blake, her ring, did she have a ring on? I have something here. Something about a ring. Well, oh no, she has a mug. Doreen has a coffee mug that's as big as Anchorage, Alaska. I mean, it's as like large as her head.
Those are big. Like, do you remember it was kind of started in the 90s with like coffee culture and friends. Was it a tall one, or are we talking about those like ones that looks like a soup bowl almost?
I think it was a big, like a soup bowl thing.
I used to have a Talk Soup, very large mug like that. But that was a 90s thing.
Talk Soup. With Greg Kinnear.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that was on that after Greg Kinnear?
John Henson.
John
Henson. Okay. I hope he's doing well. I liked him.
I lost a job to him once, though.
Oh.
After when they were first casting for that show Wipeout, do you remember that show?
No.
Yes.
It was like a reality competition show, sort of like American Ninja Warrior, but like more fun tone to it, more playful. I auditioned to host that, and they had already locked in John Henson as the host, but they were talking to people anyway in case that fell through.
Oh, yeah. Well, they should have hired you.
I agree.
They should have.
Okay,
Jason
so
Bowers in Wipeout.
So Tony was charming, manipulative, and exploitative.
She
said she had no idea.
And ugly and like
And
macabre.
You dick!
And a dick.
Dick. She had no idea what was going on. And he was nice because he found an he found an outlet for his darkness. I guess this is part of the conversation that the ladies were having. And Mrs. Blake got a note. Oh, this is right. Yeah, so Doreen got a note that says, "Be careful who you associate with, and I won't warn you again." I guess this was in her mailbox or something.
Yeah.
And then someone shows up and starts throwing eggs again.
Yeah, adults this
Yes,
time because
they
they were in an
love eggs.
SUV.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Noreen thinks they should go to the police. I don't know why, but off they go. So they pull up to the police station, and Brenda happens to be on the sidewalk, and she's like, "What are you doing with her?" So now Kathleen is all rattled, wants to go home, but Doreen insists that she says, "I'll go talk to Brenda." But then they notice a car. A car had been following them.
Was the SUV from the egging?
Yes, it's the egg SUV. And then
Right.
Catherine
Egg
gets out.
UV.
Catherine gets out and walks towards it, and it tries to run over the SUV tries to run over. Doreen.
Yeah. They were not messing around.
Well, Detective Harrison, he doesn't believe any of this. He says you have to look both ways before you cross the street.
Yeah. I mean, he tells them that in their situation, they should be walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's plenty of eggshells around.
Yeah.
Okay. So Susie. Oh. So is this when they go home? Susie can't find her bracelet. She lost her bracelet.
Nope.
Yeah. And they mentioned that earlier when they came to interview her at the house too. She's been looking for her bracelet. So we know that's going to be something that comes back later.
Right.
And the dad. Oh, by the way, this just got in my head. Just so I mention it before I forget. Walter Goggins is going to be hosting SNL.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Walton.
saw him I saw him in my neighborhood last week.
He's the one that listened to that speech
Mm-hmm.
in the White Lotus.
He was wearing big sunglasses, and he had like a cool coat.
Ooh. Well, apparently he's on the Righteous Gemstones too, but I've never watched that.
I've never watched that either.
So, okay, so the Mr. Blake, Doreen's husband, wants to know, he's not happy that she's hanging out with Catherine. Okay. So what's this? Susie rushes all the pictures still outside. Visits. I don't know what this says. Cementing? I don't understand my notes.
Susie?
Susie, it looks like Susie is looking at pictures. Oh, she goes to the cemetery, and all those pictures are still up.
Oh yeah,
So I guess
from the memorial
like,
of those
Yeah.
girls that nobody came to. It wasn't a cemetery as much as it was a gazebo.
Okay.
It's like a park gazebo.
Were they burying people? Or what were they
I don't
doing?
know. This town's weird.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a place to bury somebody because there's always bunkers underground.
Yeah.
So I guess there's
Yeah, there's not a lot of space underground, and like anytime somebody does die, they blame the wife of somebody. It's like a town tradition of
Exactly.
like, this is somebody else's fault, not like natural causes.
Right.
It's how they deal with death and dying. On death and
Yeah.
dying.
They're like, blame the wife.
So now we have Catherine. Catherine's home. She hears someone in the house. So rather than call the police, she calls Doreen.
Yes.
Which maybe that's the right thing to do.
With this town, that makes sense.
Because in her defense, the police have not been very nice to her.
No, they've been not just unhelpful, but like detrimental to her.
Yes. And she's probably like, I've seen enough I've seen enough Lifetime movies to know that they're just going to tell me to get some sleep and stay here.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think she even says, "Did you call the police?" So Doreen comes over. And Doreen really thinks that the police should be called. She searches the house. I don't know what she was going to do if she ran into somebody in the house, but that's what she does.
She just beat his ass.
A window is open. So Doreen calls her husband. Why are you? Oh, and then Catherine even says, Doreen, why are you so nice to me?
Right.
Well, they were wronged by the same man. Mm-hmm. That's why.
I get it.
Right. And girl solidarity, girl power.
And Catherine even admits that she was just ironing his old shirt out of a force of habit.
Aw, that's really sad.
And then she starts saying, "I knew," and then Doreen is like, yeah. And they get interrupted. So that's when you start thinking, Doreen's playing a game here to see if Catherine knows something. Okay. Now, somebody is knocking. The electric goes out, and there's a man outside in a mask.
In a black hoodie.
The black hoodie is back.
Yeah.
It is a 3-ring circus going on outside this house. Mm-hmm. So they walk outside because that makes sense. If there's a man out in a mask banging against the door,
right?
Mm-hmm. Walk outside.
Well, it's Lifetime.
Although in this case, like you also think someone's in the house too. So I mean, are you safe anywhere really? Because this house, unlike many in this town, did not have an underground airtight bunker.
Right. It did not have a secure place.
No.
Lock yourself in your car. I don't know what you could do. So let's see. So they do that.
Is this where we see someone had painted "Murderer Must Die" on the porch?
Yes, that's right. That's what I have written down. Yeah, that's bad. Then I saw an ad for a show about the Judd family.
Mm-hmm. They were showing that a lot.
I saw that too. I saw that too. About Winona and Naomi.
Winona. So Catherine comes to see Catherine? That's
probably Doreen.
That's very self-reflective.
Doreen.
Catherine goes to see
She
Doreen.
goes to Doreen, but she introduces herself to Lewis, the husband who she never met before.
Yes. I think it took a while before we knew Lewis's name.
Same.
Well.
We didn't know it until this moment.
Yes.
And he gives her the stink eye.
Yeah.
Doreen...
Which was kind of smoldering and sexy.
Yes.
They're planning on leaving. Doreen is packing. I don't know where they're going. Because wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
And she's got notes.
There were a bunch of notes that all looked like they had been handwritten by a PA 5 minutes before the scene was filmed. Because they were all in Sharpie on like plain white paper.
Yes.
But different colors of Sharpie, so it looks like different people wrote them.
So they're like, whip something up.
They're like, green? You're using green? All right, I guess.
And then the PA can tell people about it. Hey, I wrote that.
Yeah. Remember that scene where there was a note and it was green? Yeah, that was me.
Right.
Hey, I did that on that show, The State. Remember The State?
Mm-hmm.
I was an intern for The State when they went to CBS. In the script, they needed a corn dog, and they couldn't find a damn corn dog. I went all over creation to find them a corn dog. So if you watch the
find it?
Yeah. And if you watch the CBS special Halloween special of the state. The guy's eating a corn dog.
Kurt's corn dog, yes. That's like when I had to go see ranch dressing shopping from Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, and what was that show?
Wait, she was.
I feel like I've told you guys this before. So this is for.
No, we've never heard this story.
She actually performed this sketch on SNL later, but she was doing a show at the Groundling. She already had some notoriety, like she had done Gilmore Girls by this point, and she was like back doing a show at Groundlings. Her best friend in the show is this guy Kevin Kirkpatrick, and he was dating my friend at the time. My friend and I were going to see the show, and we get a call from Kevin like, hey, we need some ranch dressing for this sketch that we're doing. Like, Melissa forgot to bring it from home. Can you stop and get it? So we brought it. She did if you've ever seen the SNL ranch dressing taste test for Hidden Valley Ranch, that had done it Groundling. So we bought Melissa McCarthy, and she's like doing this like crazy wild physical scene where she's like ranch dressing is flying everywhere, and we bought it for her.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you go.
That's pretty cool.
But it's no corn dog on national network television, Kurt.
No. Kurt, you never cease to amaze us with your stories.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That was also the show I worked on where I had to get Sonic Youth out of the hallway.
Kurt.
Which I think I've told that before. Sonic Youth, clear out of the way, clear out of the way. So that's what I had to do. I told in the 90s to just get out of the way. The 2000s are coming. Okay, so where are we? Oh, so now they're getting ready to go. She thinks that Catherine should leave too. She should go somewhere. And Lewis doesn't like any of this, but Doreen has a plan. So now we're home.
Right.
Catherine has a secret door. Oh yes.
Yeah.
There's like a secret. There's like a secret door on the wall. We saw Tony use it a couple times.
Yeah, like in their dining room with the big long table, like there was a panel in the wall that was like, a shelf or whatever, and it blends into the panels. So, I don't know if it was. You see that a lot in older homes. It's kind of secret. It's just kind of like supposed to be inconspicuous.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
How the cops didn't see it when they ransacked her house, I do not know.
No. They got a little lazy. So Catherine is packing to go where? We don't know. And now Doreen is there. And Doreen thinks that Detective Harrison is the one terrifying them. And she's kind of right.
Well,
and then
he's mean.
I have something. Oh,
he's mean.
Well, he does have a green Sharpie, so it's suspicious.
So what they discover is that one of the victims was Detective Harrison's niece.
Oh.
So we didn't know that. Now, Doreen finds Susie's jewelry. Remember, her daughter couldn't find her jewelry. Well, Catherine has the jewelry.
Yeah.
And and what this leads to is Doreen getting pounded on the head by the jewelry box.
Yeah.
Catherine pounds her on the head. And
Catherine immediately makes a turn. Like, now she's been discovered for having this bracelet. And we're now, as the audience, are meant to believe that, oh, Catherine really is this villain we've been trying to say she's not.
Yes. We're heartbroken.
Which I was like, oh, this makes no sense.
We were with Catherine. We believed in her. What's with this betrayal?
We were rooting for you.
Yeah.
We were all rooting for you.
I don't think it's right.
It makes it hard to believe women anymore.
Oh.
But I thought this was a dumb twist.
Yeah.
Well, now they're on the floor where we all end up. And Doreen wakes up. I thought she was killed by this jewelry box, but she's alive.
Yeah.
And she wakes up, and now she's tied up. Like her hands are tied behind her back. And Catherine... Catherine says she's always taken the blame. She says, I didn't know. He was the only one living in his midst. Oh, in his mind. He was the only one living. I don't know what I said.
Right.
Something like that. So then Doreen points out that Catherine is an accomplice, and
which still made no sense to me because this movie, like, it made. I was like, oh, what is this?
And she says, this is an unfortunate turn of events. And Catherine she has a gun. She aims a gun at Doreen.
Yeah.
And what is it she sent? She sent a text. What is that about? What's the text about?
I think she's sending the text to Lewis as Doreen.
Oh, okay. What she wants to do is she wants to burn the house down.
Yeah, because she's got like gasoline. She's about to light it on fire.
Right, and she thinks that Doreen's body will be found. But I believe Brenda is also tied up in the house. So
Brenda is tied up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess she figures one of the bodies they'll think it's her.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Brenda's on the floor too. So now, how long have you been lying? What's it? So she got the gas can. She's pouring the gas. She won't know it's me. I'm going to leave. I'm going to get a whole new ID. And you say, no, you won't, because it's almost impossible to get an appointment with the motor vehicles right now with a real ID.
Yeah. That was a 20-minute back and forth between the two of them about that in the movie. It seemed unnecessary.
Did you guys get your real ID yet?
I got mine in 2018 when they first announced that there was a deadline coming up.
Did you get your real ID, Kurt?
Well, I have a passport.
I have a passport too.
Still good for a couple of years.
I have a passport as well.
My passport's good until 2028.
I got my real ID because in 2018 I lost my license somewhere. And back then, it used to be really hard to get a replacement. You had to go in anyway. And I figured, well, if I'm going in to prove that I am who I am, I may as well just like wait in the line for the real ID. So I did that then.
True.
But now, since the pandemic, if you lose your ID, it's really easy to replace it. You just send them $28 and a new license appears in like 3 days.
Well, that's nice. So, Susie throws a rock. She does? Susie throws a rock. Oh, no, they explain that Susie threw that rock through the window. She thought she'd get the truth. Then there's a whole explanation. Then Doreen explains.
Oh, yeah. It was a very, like, James Bond villain, like, laying out the entire evil plan.
Yeah, it was basically she was behind everything. So she knew that her daughter threw the rock. The guy with the mask was her husband, Lewis. The van that almost ran people over, her husband was driving that. Everything was orchestrated.
Yeah. She figured out because
like an Elsbeth episode.
It was.
No.
And she figured it out because at one point when they were eating the pie, Catherine very compulsively like cleaned up the crumbs with a rag that was under the sink. And Doreen remembered that as a shirt that belonged to one of the girls in the memorial photos.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know what was
bonkers piece of exposition.
Was the fabric that unusual?
It was like plaid.
And so it was so a shirt that the little girl was wearing is now I don't know. I never understood what was happening there. Now that it was explained to me, I guess it makes sense, but it's ridiculous.
It doesn't.
No.
Well, I understand what you said. It just doesn't make sense. Like, it wouldn't make sense in a real life situation.
And then wasn't she like, Susie said that they gave her dessert sometimes, and that means you were guilty.
Yeah.
Is that what they said?
But then wouldn't that make, like, if you were there, wouldn't that make you guilty too, Kurt? Like, dessert? Because you like dessert.
Well, now that we've gone through this ethical scenario of the Pop-Tart, I'm rethinking my stance on things. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, she goes through all that, explains to everybody, explains what happens. Let me see. Catherine then wakes up. Oh, why did she wake up Brenda? Oh, because Doreen is telling her that she's recording. She's everything recorded. So Brenda's completely knocked out, but Catherine like shakes her and she's like, "Tell me where this is being recorded." And I think she says it's recording on a phone or something like that, right? No, on Lewis's phone.
Yeah.
Then what I right now?
This is where Catherine shoots Brenda's gun, right?
Yes.
Catherine shoots Brenda's gun, but it's blanks. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And then
I was like, this is a lot of work.
Yeah, well, they did explain earlier that Brenda mentioned getting a gun, and Doreen wasn't real happy about that. So apparently Doreen talked to Brenda about, like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't have a gun. So she got blanks. But if somebody talked me out of having a gun, I would get rid of the gun altogether.
Right.
Yeah, so she just got blanks.
That's like saying you don't need all those knives, and instead of just getting rid of the knives, I then just took off all of the metal and just had wooden handles.
Yeah.
Have them unsharpened. An anti-Cutco situation.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Have them come over and unsharpen. Then they have a cat fight, and Catherine is winning. I'm rooting for Catherine. That's what I wrote in my notes. I was rooting for it.
Oh, really?
I guess I was, because this is confusing.
Yeah, this whole convoluted plan of Doreen's, it was unnecessary.
Yeah,
Catherine's
it was definitely unnecessary.
She's hit with the lamp, and then Catherine is still trying to light the gasoline.
Yes.
She's arrested by Rex Harrington. No, who's the guy who played Dr. Doolittle? Rex Harrington?
Rex Harrison.
It's Detective Harrison.
Yeah, right.
So he finally gets, I guess Detective Harrison was right, but I don't know. He still seemed like a jerk.
Well,
You dick!
Right.
Exactly.
Other cops arrive. So I guess they hired some new people. Susie is there. I don't understand. I don't understand what these people did. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the people, the family are like out in a field. That's the last scene.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I don't really, it's unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it did have some potential. There were some cool elements to it.
Yeah.
But the house was kind of cool that she lived in.
The end was just so discombobulated that I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you want to be satisfied. I did not have the...
No. Well, especially since I thought it was going to be just like about, we haven't seen like a good murderous Lifetime movie in a worse light.
I wonder if their tastes have changed and there isn't as much of an appetite for these movies being either so violent or so just like glib about ways in which these evil people go about their killing.
I'm sure they're out there.
I just feel like this movie was a whole lot of cranking, and there was no release of cream pie at the end.
No.
It's very you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Very, very unsatisfying.
And sometimes you're just working that crank and you're working that crank and working that crank and working that crank and nothing.
That's a bad night.
Yeah. Well,
man. Don't remind me.
But it's our
you never know.
Wholesome week.
You never know. Sometimes we think it's going to be wholesome, and it's more, dirtier.
You get like Aunt Gert,
right?
What's dirtier, our show? What's dirtier, our show or the White Lotus? Are they kind of equal?
We're pretty dirty.
I'm going to say, I was going to say the White Lotus because they have a larger audience that's being exposed to that. But I think the flip side is because we don't have as large of an audience, we could kind of fly under the radar.
Yeah.
Right.
Content-wise.
Yeah. Like ChatGPT was able to make me a graphic about Vicki Lawrence and getting Mama's Family, and understood the context without me telling it what it meant.
Ooh.
So that means they are familiar with our show?
ChatGPT at least knew that episode.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
AI knows us.
AI knows.
We're big with the robots. All right. Well, when the robots take over the world, we're going to have the number one show.
I've seen a ton of them in the past week. Have you seen any of the stuff on my social media this week, Kurt, or Les?
No.
I have, and
Facebook?
Facebook and Insta and Threads. So in West Hollywood, it's pretty common that you'll see the food delivery robots. I think they're the ones you see the most are the Uber Eats ones. But you see other ones too. And we have Waymo self-driving cars around here. So in the past 3 weeks, maybe, I've noticed a marked increase in the number of Waymo cars driving around without a driver. And then last Sunday, I'm walking to the gym, and I'm walking along Santa Monica Boulevard, like the main stretch in Boys Town. And there is a row of, I kid you not, probably 20 of the delivery robots just lined up one after another, after another, after another. It was fucking creepy. And since that day, it's been out there like that every morning. And then the other day, I saw them unloading them from a truck. So what they're doing is they're just dumping them all right there, and that's where they lay in wait until they get an order to come. But it never used to be like that.
And I saw one of those little robots like going down my street.
Yeah.
And I don't live on a main street, and I saw one going to do a delivery last night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is like a whole row of them. Yeah. And these do food deliveries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So are they is the food kind of like locked in somewhere?
You see it's like a big square like bin, and there's a lid that opens up, and so that but it needs the passcode or whatever to open it, and so then it'll open, and then the person for the restaurant will come and put it in there and then shut it, and then off it goes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it can't walk up steps or anything, so
no,
not yet.
But if sometimes it's barreling down the sidewalk. I've almost been hit by a few. In fact, I was hit by one of them.
Really?
Yeah, I was coming down Santa Monica Boulevard on my bike, and I stopped, and I was rode up the little ramp to the cars drive into a driveway. I rode up that onto the sidewalk, and it was barreling down really fast because they are partially operated by a human somewhere. And so it didn't know that a human was going to get right in front of it, and it smacked into me really hard. And then it kind of waits because the person operating is like, "Oh shit, what do I do? What do I do?" And then it just kind of backed up and meekly drove off. And I wrote a nastygram to the company that designs the robots. I never heard anything back.
You should have kicked it so it fell over.
Well, I've seen people knock him over too.
They're gonna remember that.
Sure I am.
No, they're going to remember that if
I've also legitimately have also helped a robot get back up when somebody has knocked it over.
Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make friends with those things.
Like a good Samaritan.
Yeah.
Yeah, robot friend.
Oh.
Just like Short Circuit. I think that's it.
I never saw that movie.
Well, you're probably okay.
But from Buck Rogers.
That's Twiggy.
Oh.
He's like, oh, baby. Yeah, he's like, baby. Hey, Buck.
Exactly. Well, if you want to get a hold of me, my website is under construction. It's getting a makeover. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Instagram at Kirkendall. Jason.
You should do a website makeover montage, Les.
Yes.
Okay. Please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to us. It helps more people find the show. You'd be surprised how many people are like listening to the podcast and don't actually subscribe to get it in their inbox every week. It's right there. Just do it. You can find us all on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Lifetime of Hallmark Podcast, on TikTok at Lifetime of Hallmark Pod, and on Bluesky at Lifetime of Hallmark. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Bluesky at Big Shot Jason. Kurt.
Do I have anything to promote? Well, Shelf Shedding Movie Podcast, of course, with Jason Debray, and we are gonna have a new episode at some point. I had to write him this past week. I said I didn't forget about you.
Yeah, that's right. I got to do my Barbara Streisand episode.
We keep talking about this, and Jason, Debray keeps sitting there, and we're not doing it, but we will. I'm gonna do
Shed some shelves.
Yeah, but the Oscar, our recent Oscar.
Wait, you haven't done your Oscar one yet?
No, we did. It's partial. But we talk about Conclave's getting a lot of views, and we do. That's one of the movies we talk about. So you can revisit that or visit that if you haven't heard it already.
Oh, that's right. It's a real life conclave now.
Yeah.
A new pope.
Yes.
And we're done early. Jason, you going out tonight?
I've got dinner plans, so yeah.
I know.
But I work.
Kurt, you going out tonight?
No, it's 9:00 here. I'm very tired. I'm doing a lot of schoolwork. I'm in school now.
Oh, that's right. You're a student.
So I spend a lot of time on that. It's one of the things.
Well, I guess that's it. So I'll talk to you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.